Welcome to Shooting the Shit. Today's guest is Matthew Thomas, and we're doing Shooting the Shit with Songwriter.
Thank you for having me, Betty.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being our first guest.
I'm very honored to be here.
Yay. Basically, this is just going to be a fun podcast to chat with people about the music industry, what your experiences are, and fun stories or horrifying stories of things that we go through in this industry.
How long do we have for all that?
Not enough time ever. Never enough time. God, my breathy laugh is going to be like the death of me on this thing. I do that like... let's start off. So we met each other how many years ago now?
Like 2022.
2022.
I wasn't even living here yet. Actually, I just came here for, well, you can tell them about it, but I came here for a music thing, and I've been coming here like 3 days every couple months, like during college.
Yeah, I feel like that's like every kind of musician's tale when it comes to Nashville or LA or New York is go through college and find yourself here for music.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either, I feel like those are the three trifectas that you choose from.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Nashville over?
Well, I chose Nashville because my parents live about 3 hours from here.
Okay.
And on my 20th birthday, my parents took me to a recording studio to record my first demo for a song that I had wrote a long time ago. And I just remember after I recorded that song, I was like, man, I want to do this more. Like I love music so much. I was still kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do in the music industry. That demo, I cringe every time I hear it now because it is so bad. But
we all have that.
Oh yeah,
sure.
But so in Nashville for me, it just felt like home ever since the first time I came here, and it was also closer to my parents than moving to like LA or New York. And yeah, so I mean, I've always loved it here. The community is great. Everyone's super nice, and everyone wants to see each other succeed. And that's something you don't find in those other two states. Like I've been to LA, and I'm actually going in a couple weeks. It's great there. People are great too, but you also feels more cutthroat there than it does here. Like there's a lot of room for success in so many different avenues in Nashville, where in LA and New York, it's just a lot more tight fit. You're not like trying to be friends with everyone.
Yeah, I feel like I can relate to that just because that's kind of why I chose Nashville. Also was not that those places aren't fantastic and you can build yourself there, especially depending on what you do, but it's definitely here more of a you do music, I do music, let's do music together, let's collaborate, let's help each other out, where I feel like sometimes when it comes to like LA, New York, or a couple other places, Vegas and stuff, it's you do music, I do music, we're in competition, I want to try to be better than you, or it's very, like you said, cutthroat and trying to be better than one another as opposed to working with each other to become better.
Yeah.
And I think that can become a bit of a problem when you're trying to succeed. That's the thing, is you need other people in this industry.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I've learned that Nashville values relationships a lot more than just like how many credits you have. It's like if you're a good hang, that means a lot to another writer. It's like that means that you're good to work with. It means that you're fun to be around, and that you're not going to be part of the problem when it comes to like succeeding in this industry. Like people genuinely want to succeed, but they also want to see other people succeed too, and that just shows so much about what Nashville is.
Yeah, I totally agree. And sometimes I do feel like if you vibe with someone, it can create a really great song or really great, and it doesn't always work out that way. I feel like sometimes you can have a great vibe with someone, but like the songwriting's just not quite there. Like I think we tried to write a song together, and we really did we communicate really well together. Like
Yeah.
you're super fun to hang out with and like stuff like that. But even the song we came up with, like it was kind of a struggle.
Yeah, no, I mean, I absolutely agree. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, when we wrote, like, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a struggle, but like, I mean, I've also written great songs with people that, maybe I don't necessarily see myself hanging out with outside of here. And that's what I find cool about like me and you is like, yeah, like even if we don't write songs like necessarily together, we're still going to support each other no matter what. Like, and we want to see each other succeed.
Yeah.
And that's like, that means more to me than writing with someone that I like hanging out with. I would rather, let them do their thing and I do my thing and we come together and still support each other.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one thing I do love about living here, and I love coming to see your shows. You have such a good energy on stage. Your music is fantastic. Shine is one of my favorite songs. I always have that part in my head that's like my favorite part.
Watch me, I'm a shine.
Yes.
And then I'm working on an EP right now, actually in LA
Oh no
with
way.
with a producer out there. Can't talk too much about it yet because the project we're not even finished writing it yet. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm flying out there middle of October for like 5 days, and we're gonna record vocals on it. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we're definitely trying to get my name out there.
Yeah, that's exciting though. I think that's always fun. Always having projects in the future and having something to look forward to is always a plus, because being stuck in those in betweens can be really, really hard.
No, absolutely. Like this project honestly came out of nowhere. Like I got an email from a producer like last month, and he was like, someone sent my music to my office, and I really like your music, and would love to make this project with you, and see if we can't send it, to some American labels out in LA. So, yeah, I mean, we're trying to get this project done in like 2.5 months. It's been a little bit stressful, but I mean, we've been writing some bangers so far. Like, we got like 3 of the 4 songs done, so it's really cool.
Nice. That's exciting. That'll be really fun. What about gigging?
So I don't currently have any more gigs lined up right now. I do plan on hopefully having some more full band shows early next year. Just as Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming around, like a lot of people aren't really like gigging a whole lot, and the industry starts to shut down. For anyone that doesn't really know super much about the industry, around like mid-November to like early January, the industry kind of shuts down and people go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so it makes it a little bit harder to like really gig and do all that stuff. So I want to take that time to kind of reflect on what I've done this year, and then start getting ready for 2025. Like, so I got a lot of stuff in the works. I mean, I don't even have this EP going. I have like probably 8 more songs after that I'm like working on right now. So like Matthew Thomas is gonna be a name you're gonna be hearing about very soon.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Yeah, I also, the 2 songs that I'm gonna release, I decided that next year would be the perfect time, because those 2 months in the beginning of January too it's all shut down. Everyone's, doing the holiday thing.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Christmas song, you have your song's not getting played anywhere. Mariah Carey takes over for
Yes.
2 months, basically. For anybody that wants to start out in this industry, take what you said, take those months and focus on yourself, focus on more writing, work with people, get things together for any upcoming songs, so like marketing, getting all the videos together for social media, anything you can kind of do to jumpstart for the release of the next year. These are definitely the months to do that, I would say.
I definitely agree. I mean, I did that a lot this year. You've probably seen on my social media, I've been releasing a lot of like content videos this year, and I batched a lot of those videos probably back in like March. So like I had those like pretty much all done, and I just went into CapCut and just put the lyrics in there. They were already edited. Shout out to my best friend Lene for that. She did an amazing job on my content. Yeah, I mean, and that taught me a lot this year. So any artists out there that are watching this, I think one piece of advice I would be is definitely batch content. It will help in the long run. You won't be super stressed about it later on, and you'll be able to have more fun posting in just be yourself.
Yeah, and have a schedule for it. Having a schedule for it is so
Yes.
important. Just make videos after videos, and you can reuse videos too. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to like just like do one of you singing outside, and you can reuse that video, put a different lighting on it, put some filters on it, and like reuse it. Put different hashtags and things. Like just create as much as you can before you know that the release is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I see artists that literally will like make like a little video in their car, and then it will like cut to the actual like filmed video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty cool.
yeah, no, like they'll have like a little like transition that will go right into the actual video, which is pretty cool. And it's worked for a lot of people. Like,
Yeah, that's the other thing is finding those ideas. So like finding them and making them your own for sure, but also knowing what's trending. Like these are all like different aspects that like you get the making the music, which is the fun part, right? And
Yeah.
depending on, what you really like to do, but finding the trends, finding the trending sounds and hashtags, making them your own, getting as much content as you can to like get it out there, having it on a schedule and all that stuff is just, it will take a lot. It's funny actually because one of my songs is going to be a summer song. So during the summer, I was like, let me get all the recordings I can possibly get on the beach and things like that,
Yeah.
because it's going to be really hard to record a summer song in snow
yes,
or like record like videos and stuff
that
for
would be
it
very
in the-
ironic.
in the snow. So I was like, let me get as much as I can while it's still. And I did. I definitely need more. So a lot of it, I'm probably going to have to like figure out where I can record that like, or like make it look like it's warm when it's like 20 degrees. I'll like I'll sit at the pool in like 20-degree weather in like a bikini, just like it's the hottest day of summer.
Yeah, it's the hottest day of
All of
summer.
a sudden my nose is just red and I'm like, it's so warm.
Yeah,
Just shivering.
oh, it's awesome out here.
Love in the summer. It'll work. I'll make it work.
Oh yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Red Bicycle Germantown. It's more than a coffee shop. The staff feel like family, the food is out of this world, where you'll always get good coffee for a good morning.
Yeah, so let's pivot a little bit.
Pivoting.
Pivoting. Pivot. I might make a lot of Friends references. I can't help it. It's like,
Pivot.
pivot,
Pivot.
pivot.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh,
Rest in peace,
rest in
Matthew Perry.
peace. Oh, sweet, sweet man. What we talked about before, but giving advice, like, is there any advice that you would give to one, just like a singer-songwriter in general, two, someone starting out in the business, and three, warning?
Okay. Yeah. Which question do you want me to start off with first?
The first one, someone just as any singer-songwriter.
Yeah, I would just say any singer-songwriter is like, just make sure that whenever you're going out to shows is that you're that you're authentically supporting other artists. That means so much to us, and it will really help in the long run when it comes to building connections. What I've learned is like, I always try to go up to an artist after they're done playing and be like, wow, like you sounded so good, like, would love to write sometime. And even if that doesn't happen right away, keep showing up. Like, some people might be a little bit further ahead than you, or they might be really busy, and that's totally fine. But don't ever lose hope on that. But also, don't ever change who you are to work with someone. Like, and like, just make sure that you're always you, and that you're always authentic, and that like you show people different sides of you, not just your music side, but also like just who you are as a person. They want to be able to see that you're a good hang. They want to be able to see that you're just a good person, and that you're not going to be someone that's like that they're dreading to work with someday. That's the main point of it.
I'd say show up and stay. I think that when people come to like a songwriter round and they just show up, do their part and leave, that's not going to help you. You need to show up a little bit early, watch the people before you. That way, yeah, you can go up to them and be like, know like, wow, that was fantastic. I love those songs. I would love to write, like, you kind of get a feel for people through their songs too. And then you come back after your set and like stay there. Watch the next set of people. Go up to the people who were in your round and, tell them how much you enjoyed. Even during your round, always be there to be like listening to them who are next to you and be like, that was awesome. Or if you didn't like it, keep it to yourself. But I mean, I'm
sure we all had those.
Somewhere's like, that was really great. Yeah. In songwriter rounds, I feel like you don't get as much of, I don't want to say bad. I want to you don't get as much of the beginner people or the people that haven't quite found their sound yet, or, still struggling vocally and things like that. I think in a songwriter round, I've noticed more that there are people that are more established and have a little bit more,
like credibility to their name.
Yeah, and just like more experience and stuff, where when you go to an open mic, it is very different. You will get an array of people. An open mic is something you start out with. This is what I feel like. When you start busking, right? That's a great practice. It's a great way to put your face in front of other people and do it. It might feel awkward and stuff like that, but that's what performing can be like. So I always say start off with busking, start off with open mics, because in open mics you can get some interesting characters and some interesting sounds.
Would you say open mic is basically karaoke?
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
It depends, I think, for sure. It can be a karaoke situation.
Those are very unpredictable.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's absolutely unpredictable. I know what I do for when I'm looking for shows. What do you do when you are looking for songwriter rounds and places to play?
Yeah, so I mean, I played my first songwriter round probably in like 2020. And at that time I was working with a management company, so they actually were booking the rounds for me. So that made it a little bit easier. But I kind of also picked up those contacts while I was going through that. So even when I left that management company, I still had those contacts, and I would just email them and be like, hey, I'm looking to play around this time. Do you have anything open? That's what I would suggest doing. Or most of these rounds have Instagrams, and everyone's on Instagram these days. So just DM them and be like, hey, I'm an artist in town. Even if you don't do necessarily the genre that they would rather you do, I mean, it's worth a shot. Just DM and be like, hey, I'm trying to get some more writer's rounds experience. Would love to play one of your rounds. Let me know if you have anything available soon. And most of the time they're gonna be like, yeah, we're willing to have anyone at least once and see how they play. And if you do well, they might invite you back, and then you're gonna get more experience.
Yeah, and meet more people and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think meeting the host does a lot, because they get to know you. They get to kind of get your vibe a little bit in person, which I think people get a little bit more off of than just looking through your Instagram page.
Yeah.
But definitely post on your Instagram page you playing live. That is so important, because that is how I've been found a lot by people looking for people to play rounds and things like that. Keeping those, really good, even just few second minutes. Nobody wants to watch a few minutes. Just a few seconds, 30-second video of you playing around your best part of one of your songs can do a lot for you. And going to those rounds and meeting the host, big difference that it makes, because they get a lot of DMs. They get a lot of people asking to play, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I played. You probably heard of Pen Drop before, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I played Pen Drop, I sent Kieran and Stevie Ray that run it a video of me playing, and I had been coming to Pen Drop for a while, so they, and I've played with them before, so they knew who I was. But even then, they still wanted to see me play live. And after that, they booked me for a couple of rounds. So I think it's all about like we said, like, building those connections ahead of time, going and like just showing up and talking to the people that actually run the round. And even if you don't know who runs it, ask someone that does. And just be like, hey, like, I really love what you're building here. And I would love to be even just a small part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about stalking people on social media.
Yeah, honestly.
We have to become stalkers at this point.
I stalk a lot of people on Instagram, so beware.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're really not. I mean, I had someone a couple weeks ago that was like, I'm probably going to stalk your Instagram page.
I'm like, absolutely, please do.
I was like, you know what? I give you full permission to do that.
Just don't stalk me.
I mean, I was like, you can stalk me too. Like, I mean, like I don't care personally. Like, as long as you don't, start like showing up to my house and like being, like that. That's where that gets
right. Weird. There are limits. There are borders.
There are definitely limits, but not, in that sense, not bad.
Have you ever had a incident like that, like a stalker incident?
I can't say I have. I did have I had someone make a like fan page of me once. It was really weird. The profile picture was a picture of a tree.
Interesting.
Yes, and it only had 5 followers. So I don't know. I was like, okay. I was like, why is this person's profile picture a picture of a tree? You could literally put a picture of me in your profile picture for a fan page of me. And so I blocked them, and then in their bio they put, "Well, Matthew blocked us, but we still love him anyways." I just died
That's a
laughing.
true fan. That's a true fan.
I was like, I feel so bad, but also like, why is your profile picture a picture of a tree? It like makes no sense at all.
They're like, we're growing, just like a tree.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh God.
like it was definitely a weird fan account for sure.
Yeah.
But that's like the only like, and that's definitely not stalking by any means. But like, I've never really had like any stalkers. I don't feel like I've gotten to that point yet. But
That you know of. Yeah, it's like finding the line also too, like with that is being respectful, right? Because you don't want to, it's always, you don't want to come off the wrong way or whatever, but there is the limit where it's like, okay, I've been polite about it enough. Now there's a point where you need to fuck politeness, as one of my favorite podcasts says, and just pull your ground, like put your ground, like this is inappropriate and I need you to stop what you're doing. And I think that's really hard, especially for us as smaller artists to do, because we're told you don't want to limit your audience. You don't want to be told, like, you don't want to be the, oh, they're so hard to work with, or they're so rude, or I met this artist and they were so nasty to me, or like things like that. Like, you always have to walk that fine line of that, especially as a smaller artist.
like I've noticed even just in the past, like me, I'm a very nice guy. I try to be kind to everyone, but I do sometimes, and this isn't always like the right thing to do, but when it comes to like being around people that are like maybe a little bit bigger than you, you kind of start, trying to figure out different ways to get in their circle. And so you start, maybe talking to them a little bit more like at a public setting than someone that's not. And it's not always the right thing to do, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, we are trying to build our way of being in this industry.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. And like, I still respect anyone that is, at my level or even just a little bit below. But I also like, it's not a bad thing to try to build those connections with people that are a little bit higher too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can't, it's part of the business. You do, as much as it, like, a part of this business is sleazy. It just is. I mean, and as much as you want to be like, well, I want to be my authentic self and I won't, go to levels and things like that. It's just not part of what this industry is. You do have to be a bit sleazy to get yourself ahead in what this industry is. And I'm not saying, like, be a fake person to people that you're like, well, don't use people.
No.
Never use people just to get ahead, because they will see through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be genuine.
I mean, even to like reiterate, like the people that I do know that, are a little bit, maybe bigger than me, I love them as people too. Like, if I didn't think they were good people, I wouldn't even talk to them. Like that means more to me than the credits they have.
Yeah.
Or, like I genuinely am like, I want to talk to you because I think you're a good person. And at the end of the day, I know who my absolute true friends are in this industry. And those are the people I'd rather work with than people that, maybe are a little bit higher up, but aren't always like just the most,
They
loving
don't
people.
show up.
Yeah.
The people that show up, those are the real people.
Like the people that showed up to my first show, those were my day ones.
Yeah. Because you see their face in the crowd and you're like, yeah, like you're still like excited to see them, and they're excited to see you, and it makes a big difference. Even if you're like, it's not someone you like typically hang out with, it's cool to like see their face and be like, they show up for me, they're here for me. Like it's still cool.
Yeah, like I mean, it meant a lot. Even just seeing when I saw your face, like briefly, like in the crowd, like at my last show, like that meant a lot because I mean, we don't really get to hang out that much, and the fact that you showed up was it really meant a lot.
Yeah, it was fun for me. I mean, I love watching you live. There are some people where I enjoy their music, but I enjoy watching them almost more live than just kind of streaming it, because you kind of feel more of who they are and what they wanted with the songs. When I see you live, it makes your songs are amazing, but it makes your songs that much greater. And to be able to do that, that's I think that's pretty incredible. I think that you do that really well. I think Nikki does that really well. I think a couple of our friends that we have together do that really well.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell the growth from it too.
Yeah, no, I mean, first of all, I appreciate that because that's something that, I want to definitely portray when I'm performing live is, the vulnerability behind it and why I wrote these songs, like that I don't just write these for no reason, I write them from true experiences and I have a lot more that are probably even more vulnerable than those that you've heard, so.
What's your most, I think I know what it is, but for us, what is your most personal song that you have written?
Well, so it's actually one that's not released yet.
Okay. So what about one that's, okay, so how about, what is your most personal song that you have released? Which I think I know which one it is, but.
So it's actually one of my older songs.
Oh, really?
It's called Breathe.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that the one you were thinking?
I think that was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that one was definitely one of the most vulnerable ones, at least in the past couple of years. It had to do with a lot of anxiety that I was going through when I first moved to Tennessee. And I was also, just trying to figure out how to be an adult. And, I mean, I still struggle with some of those things today. Like,
Being an adult is hard.
Yeah, as we all do. I mean, but, yeah, I mean, that song helped me get through a lot of just intrusive thoughts that I was going through and just trying to figure out how to mature as an adult. And so, yeah, I would say for any artist or just anyone that's listening, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Definitely allow yourself to feel what you feel and know that it's okay and that, it's okay not to be okay. I know that's a pretty cliche saying, but it's also like literally the truth. Like it's okay not to be okay. And you have to be able to feel what you feel to get through the other side.
Yeah. I think the Hallmark card sayings are still some of the best ones that you gotta just
honestly
live by.
Yeah, I mean it's such a great saying. Like I don't.
They're cliches for a reason, right? They're said so many times for a reason.
Yeah, I honestly hate the word cliche. I'm like, you know what? This is a great saying. Let's not put it into it.
Yeah.
Like this should stay alive forever. It should be timeless.
Yeah, agreed. What do you use to stream? Because I only use iTunes I call it iTunes. I know it's Apple. God damn it. I'm from the 90s. Leave me alone.
You're not from the 90s, are you?
I was born in the 90s, yeah.
When were you born?
94.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm turned 30 soon.
Really? I thought I was older than you for some reason.
My 30th anniversary is coming up of my life.
30th anniversary, you know you're not married, right?
No, of my life. Of being born, I mean. Yes. I got married when I was born. It's my 30th. No.
Wow.
No, I am a 90s baby.
That's
through and
unique.
through.
I mean, I am too, so.
Yeah. When were you born?
99.
Okay, so you're not a 90s baby.
I am a 90s baby. I was
Not a
born in the
90s
90s.
baby. You are a 2000s baby.
No, 99.
You are Y2K.
I was born the third day of 99. I was almost born in 98.
We do not accept you. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to be 26 in January, so thank you very much.
Yes, so I'm straight up 90s baby though.
More of a 90s baby than me, but I'm still in there.
That's fair. I'll give it to you. I don't
All
know. I forgot what I was saying before that though.
You were talking about streaming platforms.
I was streaming. Okay, yeah, because I call it iTunes, but it's Apple now. Okay.
Apple Music.
Apple Music. Again, dating myself on that.
I don't use Apple Music, so I tell you that right now.
I only use it because it's free with the cell phone provider that my mom uses and still has me on because I'm a musician. I can't pay all these bills.
Of course.
So that is the only reason I use
broke.
Apple Music. What do you use Spotify, Apple Music? Like what is your streaming?
I'm probably a basic white girl in this. I'm a Spotify.
A basic white girl Spotify, yeah. I mean, I guess then you can just call most people basic white girls for Spotify, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I personally like Spotify better, and that's only because it's really easy to use, and they also have like different features on there that are pretty cool. Like you can you can start these things called jams with other people.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Someone was showing me that. Well, not someone was showing me that. I saw a TikTok about it. I was like, "This is cool."
Like I was at a coffee shop the other day. It's called Land of a Thousand Hills. Yeah, it's over on Charlotte Pike.
Ooh,
really cool.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, they have a really good like back patio too. You can like walk your dog and stuff.
It's like, I just hit the mic. Sorry. Shit. That is another thing I freaking love about Nashville. There's so much to explore when it comes to coffee shops, restaurants, bars, breweries, distilleries, everything. And that's like a great thing for musicians too. I think why a lot of people come here is there are places to play.
Yes.
So many coffee shops, so many bars, so many places do open mics, do songwriter rounds, do things like that. Like there's nothing that you can't find here.
There's a lot of networking events too, which is really cool too.
So many networking events, there's so many things to do here. It is one of my favorite cities for that reason. Like there's nothing, because it's booming, because there's so many things being built up. Yeah, it can be a little bit annoying, but at the same time, there's so many new things to explore. Like you think that you've explored all the coffee shops? Wrong. There are so many more that you can explore, especially if you are a coffee lover like me.
Yeah.
Same with beer, whiskey, whatever you're kind of into,
You will never see me having whiskey.
No?
No.
Not a whiskey man?
No. I almost threw out the last time I had whiskey.
Oh, God. I collect whiskeys now. I'm a whiskey connoisseur.
How are we friends?
I know. Listen. Okay, so wait, what alcohol are you?
Well, I mean, rum and vodka all the way.
Rum and vodka?
Yeah, I
No, I
love
love
me some
vodka.
fruity drinks.
I love fruity drinks.
Again, basic white girl over here.
Yeah, I'm basic white girl on fruity drinks for sure.
I mean, like, come on, they're good, and I just don't like the taste of straight up alcohol. Like, I don't want a burning sensation in my throat.
It's fair.
And whiskey will do that to you.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the whiskey, but yeah, definitely.
Like, I tried an old fashioned the other night, and I was like, ugh, it's horrible.
I don't mind an old fashioned. They're not my favorite, but I don't mind it. There are some whiskeys though that are just absolutely delicious that I'm just obsessed with. But yeah, everyone's to each his own. I think it's funny. I find music kind of like alcohol. Everyone kind of likes their own. Everyone has their own tastes.
Yeah.
Some people can venture out more into different. Some people are like, oh, I'll do anything. I'll do wine. I'll do whiskey. I'll do vodka. Like, I don't care. Where, like, same with genres is like, Oh, in my playlist, I got screamo, and then Taylor Swift comes right comes right after. I got Devil Wears Prada, and then all of a sudden you hear Taylor Swift, and then all of a sudden you hear Selena Gomez, and then all of a sudden you're hearing Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and you're like, just like absolute whiplash. I love that, and I feel like that's a fun thing about finding your audience is sometimes you find an audience member that's like, they love your type of music, but then they also like you're just like, what are you drinking tonight? I'm drinking some 90s alternative rock tonight. Ah, nice. I'm gonna be drinking some, which I feel like
some sad emo music.
Some sad, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna drink some country's 2000s pop.
This episode is brought to you by Jack Brown's Germantown. Nothing like the perfect combination of beer and burgers. With one of the largest selection of beers and unique burgers to try, you'll never be disappointed.
Have you heard of the SpongeBob like songs? They're like almost like AI songs.
Yes,
Like
those
that,
are ridiculous.
That boy what?
Those
person?
are ridiculous.
I think they're crazy. Like my favorite one is Make a Wish, where Squidward's like singing.
Those are insane. The AI stuff is absolutely insane.
They're so funny though, and honestly,
Very
some
funny.
of them are bangers. Like I hate to say it, but some of them are.
So yeah, it just works sometimes. It just hits that funny bone, or like, I don't know.
Like
I think we're all wired, right? To
Yeah, I mean, there's literally one song called "Dear Magic Conch Shell." Like that's like, I mean, that's like a SpongeBob like historic figure.
Oh yeah, those are so fun. AI has gone. People have gone so crazy with AI, and like, I think again, it's one of those things where it's definitely good things come out of it, and bad things come out of it.
Yeah, I mean, think about how AI is going to affect the music industry in a few years. It's going to be crazy.
I mean, TikTok, the way TikTok has completely turned around this industry, social media itself, but I think TikTok was really that big
Innovative push that like
big push of
you have to go viral to like even have a chance of like succeeding. Or I mean, I know success is very subjective, but like to like generally succeed and like have a giant fan base, you have to be able to go viral yourself on TikTok.
Like, it's not just about the product anymore. It's about you doing almost everything in the business before someone's like, all right, well, I'm happy to take over now that you have everything completed.
Yeah, now that you've done all the success by yourself, I just want to ride off of it.
Yeah.
Like, and I have a personal story that can even like relate to that. I mean,
Absolutely.
a few years ago, well, it may have been like last year or the year before, I was talking to this like indie label over like Instagram. Like, you know, they liked my music a lot. I had met this manager of a guy that was on American Idol, and he really liked my stuff as well. So he introduced me to the label, and they like, I was like just showing them my stuff, and they were like, or I said like, you know, I would love to talk about like, you know, even just like seeing if we could be a fit down the road, you know, as a label and artist. And they were like, well, we can't actually talk to you, and you know, until you have like 250,000 monthly listeners or something like that. And I'm like, really? Like you love my stuff, but like that's all that matters to you almost. And that's what sucks. It's like someone can tell you they love your music all day, but if you don't have the credibility to back it up with followers or streams, then it's almost like none of the other stuff even matters. Like, you could literally suck, and if you have 500,000 monthly listeners, the label's ready to knock on your door.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I mean, I know this is your podcast, but do you ever struggle having even just like your close friends like stream your songs?
Yeah.
Like you know, like I'll stream their songs and I'll share them, but it's almost like trying to pull teeth to have someone share your song on their Instagram story or stream your song.
Yeah. I want, obviously, like, you know, I'll talk to my friends and be like, hey, like, I have a new song out and stuff, and maybe they'll stream it and listen to it, and they'll be like, I really like it. But like, you know, they don't make playlists.
Or they never stream it again.
Yeah,
like,
they don't make playlists. They don't add it to things. Like, I do have people that do that, which is great, but it's not always the case, and they would have to stream it like 20,000 times. I don't know if you struggle with this, but I struggle with being like, hey, I'm amazing. I'm so good. My music is freaking awesome. You go listen to it. Go here. You know what? Here, like, like branding yourself and putting yourself out there is a huge part of this industry. And with someone who struggles with social anxiety and things like that, just to walk out of my apartment building and talk to someone is really rough for me. But we literally have to shove ourselves in people's faces. And I think that's a really tough thing for me. But that is what this requires, is you shoving yourself in people's faces.
Yeah. No, I mean, I literally, like, whenever I have a new song come out, I'll send like 50 messages at once. And you've probably been on the other end of that, of me sending you a message being like, hey, I have a new song out. Like, I'd love for you to go stream it and share it. And sometimes, I mean, I've had one person before, they're like, hey, like, can you stop sending me these messages? Like, like, I get what you're trying to do, but like, I don't think it's a good source of marketing. Well, it's like, how else am I supposed to do this? Like, Instagram's not going to show every single one of my followers my posts.
Yep.
It's not going to, and not everyone's going to see my story. And if they see my story, they're not going to even really look at it, because the people have the attention span of a walnut these days.
Yeah. And then again, it's us throwing ourselves in their faces like, hey, remember, come stream. And they're like, why are you being so annoying? I don't mean to be annoying, but it's literally what we have to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way of us communicating that we have a song out. It's like we put so much, that people don't realize how much money and time we put into these songs. And like, it's our story that we're telling. Like the least you can do is at least stream it.
Stream it, buy it. If you don't want to listen to it, buy it. That actually gives me more money, and it's you have
$1.
$1, yeah, which is ridiculous, but I mean, like, it is. It's
like,
you buy it.
It's cheaper than this cup of coffee.
just buy it. It's if you like an artist, or an artist that is starting out, buy their song. Even if like you only listen to it, here and there, buying the song does a lot more usually than, you stream it 2 or 3 times and you're done. But yeah, I would say with one of the frustrations of this job, some people, again, it's easier for some people, but I think for a lot of us, it's really hard to be like, hey, look at me. Look at right here. Look how amazing. I am so good. You are going to love me. And it's taking that rejection too. It's knowing, okay, it might come with a, wow, this is actually really good, or
this is like underwhelming.
Yeah, you should try a different career. And it's, you take it. Again, everyone has different tastes in alcohol. Everyone has different tastes in music, Just because one person doesn't like it doesn't mean another person won't like it.
Yeah, I mean, and I can even pivot off of that a little bit, like the whole, you should try a different career. I know we've been talking about like virality and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, I had one video that had like 550,000 views like recently.
Oh, wow.
And with that has come a lot of negative comments. And that's also something that, to kind of go back to those questions you were telling me earlier, like, that's one thing I would say to any artist that's starting is, like, you are going to get negative comments at some point. They're not easy to read, but eventually you just kind of just read it and move on. It doesn't really stick in your brain, or at least you should try not to let it stick in your brain, because they don't mean anything. There's no substance to them. They're just random people on the internet that have nothing else better to do than to watch your video, which, again, they're watching your video. That means you're doing something right.
Yeah, thanks for the view.
Like, I've literally had someone write on there, they were like, why do you hate treadmills? Or they called me the Temu version of Ed Sheeran. So, like, I find those funny, and I just move on. And, like, they're helping your algorithm. So all I can say is eventually you're going to get negative comments, which means you're doing something right.
That's what we have to do. It's part of this world, is throwing yourself out there. Not for everyone. That's why a lot of people just write for artists, or produce or do there's so many different avenues that you can take in music if you cannot handle or you do not want to deal with all those kind of aspects of it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think another thing to look at too is like, even when you're trying to find your audience, don't just look at it from like your songwriting aspect, but look at it from like just your beliefs in general. Like, I mean, we were talking about Chapel Roan off camera earlier. Like, like think about how much an impact she's made in like the LGBTQ community. If I
Plus
said that
community,
right.
yeah.
Yes, but like, and like, there's some people that believe in that, and there's some people that don't, and that's totally fine. Like, I mean, like she's made an impact for a lot of people that maybe felt alone, and like for me, I want people to know like that I believe in God, and that there's so many different things that you can believe in life, and that's totally fine. Like like I think that's the great thing about being an artist is like you start having a bigger platform,
Yeah.
and you're able to just talk about things that matter, not just the music.
What would you say that when you look, when you find your audience, we like to say like find your audience, who would you think those people would be in your audiences? So like, as you said, for like Chapel Roan, a lot of them are LGBTQ plus communities. Who would you say were kind of the communities that you reached to with your songs and you as a person?
Yeah, I mean, probably just people that have, I mean, not like any specific type of people, but also people that have like ever felt alone, or people that have, been through like anxiety and depression before. Like, like I write a lot of vulnerable songs these days, and, like I'd like to say I'm a pretty generally happy person, but on the inside I do struggle sometimes, and it's the best way to write stuff down. I want my fans to, or I want my fans to be people that will be able to relate to the music, obviously, but also like not be afraid to reach out if they need anything from me. I want to try to be as close and interactive with people as I can. But to kind of answer your question, I don't think there's really like one specific like demographic of people. I want to be able to grab so many different types of people to what I'm creating.
Yeah, I like that. Just like people from all different communities, whoever feels
drawn to what I'm creating. That's what's important to me.
Who relates and feels like, oh, I feel that too. I'm not alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That I at the last show I played, I had a guy come up to me, and he was like, thank you for your music. Like he said like, I could feel your honesty on stage, and that was something that I'll always remember. Like that was a great interaction with a fan that I had never met before, and he came up to me and shook my hand and was like, thank you for your songs, and that's a moment that every artist should strive for. And I'm just thankful that I already got that at the smallest step in my career right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's even those small things that can make a big impact.
Absolutely.
For sure. Even just somebody coming up to you and saying, I relate to that, or thank you. Even just a thank you is, it's like, okay, shit, yeah, this is why I do this. This is why I love this. Like, that can be a big impact.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously don't do it for the money. So like, like we got
sure as hell don't do it for the money.
Like we got to do it for personal reasons, and those are the personal reasons.
Yeah. Money would be nice, right? Like, if you can, that would be great. But
eventually you can, but not right now. It's just, it's not right it's on the cards.
It's on the card, future cards.
Yeah. I don't know if this is different for women just compared to men, but I've actually really never put a filter on any of my photos, like on Instagram. Like,
that must be nice.
I don't really see the point. It's like, I want people to see the real me. I think it's important to show, what God created is you, not necessarily like, a fake version sometimes, and that's what filters are basically,
Yeah. It depends. I mean, sometimes just lighting. It's not always filtering, like
True.
filtering out things. Sometimes it is. Like if I have a giant pimple and I don't feel like having that posted up, I'll filter
respectable.
You take it out.
Yeah, I feel like girls honestly like probably have to worry about both sides of it. It's like, yeah, you could get negative comments about your hair, but also what about if you dress like, I mean, some girls can dress a little provocative on social media. I'm sure you've probably seen, like what about if you
I
get,
do.
well, I wasn't saying you, I was saying in general, like,
Well,
so,
sometimes I do. I mean, you can, yeah, it doesn't, I mean,
but like,
when you're comfortable with it.
yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying there's like, definitely like, there's people that could write like, really sleazy comments
Oh, yeah.
or like, like inappropriate comments or offensive. And it's like, see, I think from both ways, it's almost like a lose-lose situation for you guys. And I feel bad for women in that sense. It's like, you guys can't just post on Instagram and just move on and not have these like really like either negative or offensive comments. At the end of the day, it's like you need to do what you enjoy.
Yeah, and just block it out, block them, right? Always have a mediator. I think that's what they're called, mediators on the if you're doing lives or
moderators.
Moderator. Thank you. It was something with an M. Have a moderator. That's so important. Just so when you're doing something and you want to focus on it, you want to make it good, like you're performing, then have those moderators. That way it's not something that you fully have to focus on.
Yeah.
It's just because those can get hard. Those can get in your heads, and then you're just kind of done, and
Yeah.
it makes you not want to do something that you have to do in your career.
So you have like a lightning round of questions that you want to ask me real quick?
Okay, let's see.
Maybe like the last segment.
Yeah, here we go. You answer them as fast as possible. No, I'm just kidding. So I know you write in like the pop genre. Like that's probably your forte. You're very good at it. It's kind of where you like to sit, right?
Also indie acoustic pop too. So.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
I've
is
been-
there anything else that you like to dab into?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm actually starting to like really get into the acoustic pop lane. That's a
Okay.
lot of my singles next year are gonna be that style.
Nice. What would you say like is like a ritual or something that you feel like you do every time while you're setting yourself up to go on stage?
That's a good question. I've only been on stage like really few times, like when it comes to like full band shows and stuff like that. Like I really like. I would say at my show at the end, I stood like in the green room for a second and just took like a long deep breath and was like, you got this. You know why you're here. You've been ready for this for a long time, and just kind of hype myself up a little bit. Kind of let the band just go out there, do their thing real quick, and then yeah, just like pretty much just like let everything that I was thinking just leave my mind. And I didn't really do like any like specific ritual. I would like to eventually start incorporating just like a short prayer, like with my bandmates, just be like, just like thanking God for this moment. And I would love to just make that something that I can have with the people that are doing this with me.
That's great. All right, last question. So we actually talked about success is success is different. For you, what does success mean for you at your point and where you want to be in this industry?
I was just talking about that to one of my producers yesterday in LA, and I told him, I said, eventually I want to go on tour. I want to be signed or unsigned. It doesn't really matter to me if I can build that fan base. My short answer would be I really want to go on tour and build a fan base around the whole U.S. and around the world, and just keep creating and building real music. That's what I'm about. Whether it's sad or happy, just want it to be real.
Being sad and finding that happy, both together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I love that. Cool. Well, it was amazing talking with you. Thank you so much for being on this podcast, for joining me, for having some fun conversations and some serious conversations and all the conversations.
Yeah.
I enjoyed having you on. I'm really thankful that you came out to do this with me. And I hope you enjoyed shooting the shit with me.
I absolutely enjoyed shooting the shit with you. Yeah, I said it right that time.
Yeah, you said it right that time. Success.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. Thank you for having me. This is definitely a really fun experience. I've never done a podcast before, so.
Yay. I know, neither have I. This is Matthew Thomas. He is a singer-songwriter, an artist here located in Nashville, Tennessee. He's incredible, so please check him out. I will have everything that you need to connect to his music, connect to his social media, everything like that. So check out his new music, check out his old music. It's amazing. I'm Betty Reed, and thank you for sticking around and listening to us shoot the shit.